All right, so here we are in a 2006 Honda Element. This customer is complaining that it has a big roaring noise under drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in drive, see if we can replicate the noise. All right, so I'm going to put my foot on the brake and I'm going to give the engine some RPM without going anywhere. This will check motor mounts. All right, so there we have a pretty big vibrational noise. It's pretty much what the customer is talking about. I'm going to try it in reverse, the same. Okay, so it's only a forward movement. All right, so we'll pop the hood and we'll take a look and see what we can see our motor mounts there. All right, so just popping the hood and taking a look around, we do notice the transmission mount on the upper side. All the rubber is missing and cracked. This is the same side that we're hearing the noise, so it looks like, just a visual inspection, turned up what the noise is. We already know that's a bad bushing right there. So we'll go ahead and remove the air box and the air ducting so we can get a little better look at what's going on. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the air box. It looks like we have a couple, 3, maybe 10 mm bolts around the base here. All right, and then we have our clamp for our inlet hose. All right, so here we can see our motor mount. This is our transmission and our frame rail. So we can already see that the insulator that goes around the outside of the mount is pretty much gone. All the way down into the mount is ripped out. So we're going to go ahead and remove it. We do have a jack. We're going to have to hold up the transmission from underneath to be able to let go of these 3 mounting bolts and then the 1 connection bolt there. So we'll go ahead and get our jack. We'll put a 2x4 on top of the jack and then support the transmission. We have our jack just barely touching the bottom of the transmission there. We're going to go ahead and work on these 3 bolts. We have 1 here, and then 1 here, and 1 here, and that'll be the frame mount side. So once we undo those, the transmission is kind of hanging. That's why the jack is there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and remove this bolt here. Being that we can't get our bolt backed out because of the battery tray, we're going to go ahead and take these 3 bolts out right here. All right, so now we're removing the bracket and the mount all in one piece. All right, so here we have our part that we got from Auto Parts Direct to You. Okay, so these are those side loads. That's probably, once we take this apart, we'll kind of see where it was wearing. So everything starts to look the same. Like we have to transfer that over. Same with maybe something right there. So there you can see the chatter. Nice and shiny. That's where this should have been sitting to insulate it. You see our mount is pretty ripped and blown out compared to the new one. All right. So go ahead and transfer this over. And this is how it would sit in the car. So you see those tabs there, how they play a big role in the motor mount. Now, judging by this bolt here, we could have probably waited to take this bolt out until we had it on the floor here. We'll at least run it in a little bit. Not going to tighten it yet until we get it in place. All right, so we'll go ahead and put our motor mount back in. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get a couple of these bolts. We're just going to go ahead and put them all in their place. A couple threads. All right, so we'll go ahead and start tightening down our stuff. I would say this would be the last bolt to tighten up just because it would be the final position. Okay, so we have our motor mount in. Now we'll go ahead and put our air box back. Now that we have that taken care of, we'll go ahead and take the car for another test drive, verify that we have found the noise. We did find a noise. It looks like it is the noise, just to ensure there is nothing else going on. And then we'll be done with this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in gear with my foot on the brake. I'm going to put it in forward first. That was where we had the noise. Go ahead and give it some. There's where our noise was, right at that RPM. Now we'll go for reverse, so the motor will rotate the other way. All right. It looks like we got it. We'll go ahead and give it a test drive around the block. Make sure everything else is good.